Welcome back to the Med Gym. I'm here with another Technique Tuesday. I'm by myself this week performing this one, but I wanted to bring you another rowing technique cue that we like to talk about with a lot of our clients when we introduce a rowing exercise to their routine. So last week, if you recall, we talked about the importance of not overusing the upper traps and shrugging your rows. And so you want to have balance around the muscles of the shoulder blade, so you're not shrugging, you're using the mid-scapular and lower scapular muscles to perform a row. So the second important technique when we talk about any kind of rowing or pulling exercise that most people tend to default to is not overextending or hyperextending the elbow behind the body. So as you row, most people tend to get here and then they do the elbow behind the body, the hand to their side, and the shoulder is pointing that way. The problem with that is that as you rock the shoulder forward, you get the ball rocking forward in the socket, you get a lot of pressure right here on a very vulnerable part of the shoulder where you have some ligaments, you have the bicep tendon that crosses over, and a number of other smaller structures that tend to get irritated on the front of the shoulder as you have that rocking forward motion. So if you've had any problems with shoulder pain during a row, this is likely one of the reasons why. So as we clean this up, we like to cue people to engage the shoulder blade and pull it right back, but make sure that the elbow is not rocking behind the body. So I'm going to demonstrate on the cable here. We talk about getting a single arm cable row, elbow back to the side and the shoulder blade engaging, but not rocking forward by hyperextending that shoulder. So good shoulder blade engagement. Again, I'm keeping the shoulder down. I'm making sure to engage the mid-scapular muscles, but I'm stopping with the elbow at my side. So I keep this here rather than here. So important to realize that this plays into all of your rowing variations, not just an upright row. So as I go to demonstrate a dumbbell row on the bench, I'm going to set up here just a 3-point row. And it's the same idea, and maybe even a little harder in this since you have gravity working against you. But as you come up, you got to engage and pull that shoulder blade back and stop with the elbow at your side, not hyperextend to here and put a lot of pressure on the front of the shoulder. So flat back, engage the shoulder blade, stop with the elbow close to your side, and don't let it drive behind you. And the last variation I want to go over was the same idea applies to any kind of vertical pulling or a lat pull down exercise or even a pull up or chin up. So I'm going to set up here on this cable. And so as you do a pull down, a lot of times we see a similar type of thing where someone, especially if the weight's too much or there's like on a chin up or pull up, they're struggling to get to the top, they'll do this shrug up and they'll roll the shoulders forward. So as we pull down, we don't want to get to the point where elbows behind your body and the shoulders rocking forward. We want to make sure we get to the point where the elbow's right at your side and you're engaging the lat muscle and some of those lower shoulder blade muscles to pull the shoulder back and down without hyperextending behind the body. So keep that in mind when you're doing some pulling exercises, whether it's a row or a pull down or a chin up or pull up, and make sure you're not putting a lot of stress and irritation on some of those ligaments and tendons on the front of the shoulder.